So they were a tough bargain at then, but still I happened to crack one deal. So that was my big achievement. So what we did a very new thing, that was packing arecanut, chopped arecanut in 2-gram packing sachets and distributing it. As I said, I'm a nature person. I'm a person who gets connected to things and environment. I have always followed those principles and I've always seen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I am Tanay All, and today we have the privilege of speaking with a truly exceptional individual, Mr. Kiran Kumar Kothari. With a career that spans international trade, finance, and holistic well-being, Kiran sir has significantly impacted various industries including agriculture, spices, and even energy healing. From his leadership role at Ajay Raj Agencies to his advisory position at Kothari Commercial Concern, Sir's vast experience and unique perspective have made him stand out in his field. Thank you for joining us today, sir, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for calling me on this podcast. I would certainly like to give in a few insights.
Pleasure's all ours, sir. So, as we dive into this conversation today, I'm sure our listeners will be fascinated by the journey you've had from your strategic leadership in the business world to your commitment to holistic well being and supporting marginalized communities. There's so much to unpack here, and we can't wait to hear about the experiences and insights that have shaped your career. So, moving to the first question, sir. Your career spans across several industries from international trade and finance to holistic well being and strategic leadership. Reflecting on this remarkable journey, what would you say were the defining moments or key experiences that guided you towards the path you're on today, and how have you shaped your approach and with both business and personal growth?
Thank you once again, and thank you to my listeners also for being with me. Uh, well, I would quickly put you to my renaissance of my life. That will help you to see across what I am doing and how it has been going. I belong to a Marwari business family, which has people in India do know that they have their entrepreneurial skill is in their DNA, and so I do also have that. Uh, Born and brought up in Calcutta, and my family, father and grandfather, they had their center of setup was in Calcutta, though they were working all around the world. Their center of setup was in Calcutta. I've been there. I studied in Don Bosco Park Circus. So the whole initial background was like that. But to start with, about business, it is like that. In our family, it is business is always there. Business and studies go side and side, hand in hand, you can say. So that's how it was. But still, holistic living was always there. And we always maintained a particular decorum and a family, a particular discipline. So holistic living was always there. No matter how much our business was and how much we were pampered, that is a different issue. But holistic was always there. So when I grew somewhere around 18, I was put into gyms. I was at the same time, I was given a charge of a new area entirely. That was South India. No doubt, my father and grandfather, they had business setups in Shanghai, Rangoon, and Jakarta, and somewhere in Southeast during the independence and pre-independence era. I was born much later, so I happened to get the South India part of it, a partial setup in South India. That was for me to take care, and it was quite a challenge. Quite a challenge. At the age of 18, 20, you are into a setup which has huge business, huge volumes. Quite a challenge. To right in the starting, if you allow me to bring in an anecdote, I would certainly put in one.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
100%.
So it was like that. See, in those days, we had spices dealers. So set up in Calcutta, which was then a hub of trade because Britishers had just left. and Calcutta was always an hub. So northeast and whole of the west, so to say, central and eastern, and a part of southern was also covered there. South India, they had their offices in Alleppey, Cochin, and Calicut, then Valliapatnam, which is right now it is known as Kannur. So in those days, goods used to independence, around independence and pre-independence. In those days, goods used to go in those Vahans, that is the ships, uh, local made ships. So it used to go there. But when I joined then, the scenario changed and it used to go in wagons. So I was put into this thing. The anecdote is that I was asked to go to cardamom auctions, which were deep inside the forest. And, the auction room were used, but 30, 40 people were there in the auction room in a round circle. So we used to see a sample, throw it in the front. So the circle, everyone used to throw. So whether a lot is of 40 kg or if it is of 200 kgs or 400 kgs, so they used to throw. And by the time of the end of the auction, that hump used to be so huge that we could not see each other.
Oh.
And it was like smelling cardamom. Then they used to serve filter coffee and vadas, idli, and all those things which were delicacy there. So always at that age, you feel hungry early in the morning at 6 o'clock and see this and see that. So it was like a funny experience then.
Yeah.
That is how the things started and how it moved around.
Oh, that's quite
There
interesting.
again, I continued into this business things. And my first big challenge, if you ask me, or big work, was when I was, say, 24 or 26. I was asked to go and do a deal with Russian embassy. And that was for export of black pepper. So those days, black pepper was a hot item for Russian because that was a mode of currency which they could convert from rubles to dollar. So they were a tough bargain at then, but still I happened to crack one deal. So that was my big achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been in those initial stages, cracking an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
international deal.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
would mean a lot.
Was it? Sort of, I traveled along when I was 18 to 20, I traveled around, but still
Okay.
to deal it's
Yeah,
that timid an age, it was a big experience.
true, true. So you've successfully overseen international trade and finance at Kothari Spices for over a decade, which speaks volumes about your expertise. What
Yeah.
were some of the most challenging moments in that role, and how did you overcome them? We've heard one of them, but some more if we could hear for our
Yeah.
viewers.
In this itself, I'll tell you what happened. This deal was big. And as you know, Cochin was a center of processing of black pepper. That was always there. And there, the business was like we used to go early in the morning at 5 o'clock to the market
Okay.
to procure. And the volumes were so huge, somewhere around, yeah, say, around 4,000 tons uh, per day, 4,000 quintals per day, to 400 tons per day also it was there. To
Wow.
4,000 tons also it used to be there. And it used to trade in a day. So that was that huge. Okay, we could also procure and we could also process. We did one process. We had an export deal. We did one processing. And the ship has docked in the port. Documents have been filed. Now, what happened? As you know, Kerala is very temperamental, and the labor out there is at that time. Now, of course, I could be is little better. At that time, they went on strike.
Wow.
Early morning at 6 o'clock, they join at 7. So at 6 o'clock, we are on strike
Okay.
for no rhyme or reason. We want 3 times the pay and all the things. So here I'll bring in one small thing which has been told by our ancestors. That is, never feel a work is small or big. All work is work. So that came into my mind, and I was supposed to manage this whole consignment and deal. What happened there was they disagreed. I called my management people, which were around 20, 22 of them. So I said, can we do this? Can we load it in the truck? Because After that, they don't have their say. Can we do it? So the management, since I was uh, able to convince them, it was not that difficult. They agreed, and we did that and got the ship loaded, and it was 300 tons. Not a small thing. It took us almost 30 hours, but we managed to do it on the day. But that's the thing which we really did. That was a big challenge, and I
100%.
happened to do it somewhere on. That was great.
And at that time, dealing with so many people not willing to work would have been a. I mean,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it
It
seems easy, but
was.
at that time, one can
No, no,
panic
no,
because
no,
it's a
no.
sudden
It was a
shock in the
sudden
morning.
thing and a sudden thing. And my elder brother was with me.
Okay.
I used to take his advice. He always advised me. So at that moment, he said, "It is your baby. You give them three times the thing, or you want to do whatever you want to do." Since my management people agreed to do it, I could do it. Naito, I had to pay three times the cost, and plus many more things they wanted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
So
then
I
it's a
had
slippery slope which starts.
yeah. And every that's the point which you really picked up. That's how it starts then.
True, sir. Sir, as an advisory board member at Kothari Commercial Concern, you've guided the company's strategic direction. How do
Yeah.
you balance traditional business strategies with your progressive ideas on diversity and innovation?
See, I was always a reformist and I'm always a learner. So way back when I was young also, I used to attend like packaging congresses or any other conferences which were there, which was irrelevant to my uh, purview of business or whatever it is, just to see, have a future foresight. Like at this day, at this present scenario, I've been attending AI things 2 years, since 3 years back also. I've been
Oh,
following it
lovely.
up and blockchains for more than 4 5 years. I've been following it up. So I was always, it's irrelevant in our trade or our part of business, but still I've been following it up because it may be of relevance in future.
True.
So there was one thing which I bought. We were wholesalers, and bulk we used to supply. We never went in for small consumer things. And in food grains, consumer packs were not very prevalent in those days. Say somewhere around 95 to 98, in that area, 1995 to 98, it was not very prevalent. And even if it was in a very orthodox way. It was there. We reformed the whole thing. It was not difficult because my family also is very reformed. So they also want to bring in new things. But challenge was from the labor part and how to maneuver and how to do it. We bought 1 kg packing, and that too FDA straight away. We went for an FDA approved 5 layer to 7 layer packaged. So that what happens, any food product which is packed in it, the oxygen pilferage is less, hence the food doesn't get destroyed, contaminated by pests or anything. It doesn't get contaminated. The shelf life increases. So that still stands good today, and I'm sure it will still stand good in the future also, because this no one could do it until unless you are a multinational company, because the cost factor affects it. But here, since I was into it, we can do it. We can pay a little more extra, and we can do it. Try to get things from one of the best people who can supply us. In those days, it was difficult also to get people who can give us 7 films and do it, because it was all imported. So, but we got it, and it was a big challenge, and we did it. We really did it. That was something good. And one more thing, like an item which we deal in is arecanut. Arecanut, as in India or in Southeast, they chew and with tobacco and they dispose it off, or they swallow it, but maximum they dispose it off. So that quantity which is chew is somewhere around 2 grams to 5 grams. So you don't need any to have bulk with them. So what we did a very new thing, that was packing arecanut, chopped arecanut in 2 gram packing sachets and distributing it. So they can tear it whenever they want. They can use a connect, and that's what they can do. That has become a big hit in the market, and it's now a new norm.
Sir, you've been involved in industries ranging from agriculture to international finance and now in energy, healing, and counseling. How do these different passions intersect in your day to day work?
See, I'll tell you, agriculture was not where I did something. It was only a passion.
Okay.
I try, and as you can say, as a hobby. I right from the day when I was only say 7 years, I did my first bonsai cultivation. So that was the I always was connected to the nature and
Okay.
space. That always fascinated me. Going into the jungle alone was not a difficult thing for me, and I was not scared of it. But that was the sort of thing which always gave me a lot of pleasure. So I put an orchids and anthuriums, and we started cultivating it and selling cut flowers, and even bonsais, cultivating and selling it. So that was one thing, and we still do it, do bonsais. That is a good thing which we are still doing it. Then coming to energy healing. See, I'm very passionate about energy healing, quantum energy, or energies. They really fascinate me. And to be very direct, I feel everyone has that capability to attract energy in them and to give out energy that is there in their DNA.
Yeah.
So I feel if we can mobilize it and if we can bring it out in the right way, there is nothing which can match it.
True. And all these are connected, like plants, for example, they say you have them around, there's a certain energy they give out, and it's all connected thereby.
Yeah. See, I'll give
Yeah.
you just an instance. I'll just give you an instance. How you can feel the energy. You
Yeah.
might have happened with every one of us. When we are in a bus, when we are traveling in a bus, or when we are in the classroom itself, it might have happened sometime in your life. You might, when you're looking at a guy, someone somewhere in front, suddenly he turns around and looks at you. Why does he look at you only?
Yeah.
That's a point to ponder. That is where energy plays. You have passed your energy, and that is reflected in his energy and come back to you. So that's where we judge the energy, and that is how the energy action takes place.
Yeah. True. Sir, as an advisory board member at Kothari Commercial Concern, you've already contributed significantly to shaping the company's strategy.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, how do you see your role evolving in the boardroom and what are your aspirations for the future of leadership within organizations as they adapt new challenges?
See, somewhere I feel that leadership should always be open. They should always be open for new ideas. They should always be open to listen. They should adhere to their requirements of their staff or their workmen. That is very important in addition to their customers, because you cannot leave the customers. Customers is first, but that is also very important. If that is there, if you are empathetic towards towards your staff, your management, your workers, you will find that the whole scenario, the whole environment changes. The modus operandi of your environment changes. This is where I really want the leadership to take interest in it, other than the regular, normal compliances of things which are there. But this is where they should be really focusing. In this, I will tell you that energy healing as well as counseling, that gives a great hand to the leadership. That not only helps a leadership to hold these things, but it also brings in, you can say, uh, resilience, emotional intelligence. All these things also comes in.
So, from your work with the LGBT community, suicide prevention, and individuals living with HIV, how can organizations better support their employees facing personal crisis? And most importantly, why is it important for a business's success?
So I'll tell you, uh, we deal with who does the work for the management. It's the lower staff, it's the workers, it's the factory, it's not the board members. They are only doing the stewardship. It's the lower people who do. Everyone has a family, everyone has some or the other emotional issues. So I was saying about the LGBT community, which we are talking about.
And yes, suicide
Every
cases.
suicide cases is generally from, you see, if you see a boy who's trying to commit suicide, he wants to live up to his dad's expectation. That is the first expectation round which comes into his mind. The peer pressure comes second. That is what his friends and all are doing. He wants to see how his family will look at him first. And in his family, the boy always looks at his dad, how his dad is working. Where is the dad working? Dad is working with any one of our factories or any one of our business establishments. So as a leader, we have to take care of that person. How do we do that? We counsel that person. Indirectly, he knows how to live with his son and where to create, what pressure to create on his son or his family. And this problem gets solved. I've seen many counseling cases where the issue has always been there. So this helps in suicide cases in particular. Now, coming to LGBT, LGBT is what? I would like to bring in some issues about LGBT. What is it they want? They want us to listen. That is what they want us. Listen. And what does LGBT really in real sense means? For L, you can take it, lend me your ears. For G, they really mean that give me that love and care I need. Third, they then again want us that to know that I am born from you only. I have not come directly from some other space.
Yeah.
They want you to know that I am born of you. And the last T, they want us to be there with them. Togetherness is what they want. You see, if we give them these three things, the problem is solved.
Yeah.
So that is what they want. And I've been working with them. And plus HIV. HIV is what they want, care and little counseling. So my energy helps them. And when we talk, being in the leadership, when we talk to them, they feel very comfortable and they feel happy about it. And I've seen getting people getting out of their taboos and things. And now with awareness around, when we go to colleges, when I go to colleges and give some talk about releasing of stress, anxiety to MBA students or maybe to palliative care nurses, I always talk about all these things and they are very receptive. And it really helps in that.
Yeah, it always helps to hear out your employees, general
Yeah.
people, everybody,
Yeah.
because then
Yeah.
it builds a
Yeah.
different connect, right?
The productivity improves, the productivity of the staff, the workers will automatically improve because they feel, yes, there is someone whom I can share my
Yeah,
details.
yeah.
They always feel that way.
So, from a governance perspective, how do you think organizations can integrate ESG goals into their operational frameworks without compromising on financial performance?
See, there are some things where we should understand there are do's and don'ts. We have to follow. It's everywhere. Only thing is ESG, we have not taken it that clear, strongly up till a few years back. We have not taken it that strongly. But now with international laws and international regulations, be it national also, we have to follow and we should follow. As I said, I'm a nature person. I'm a person who gets connected to things and environment. I have always followed those principles and I've always seen that how we can get connected to all these things and how all these things are there to be connected. Like, say, supposing a simple thing, when we are out of the office, say, of the establishment, we can close our electric AC connectors. We can off them a half an hour early. If you calculate that half an hour, it works to 18 working days in a year. Just tell me how much energy saving has been done. Simple as that. Secondly, when we just see that we should not use waste paper as a fresh paper as a waste paper, how much paper you are saving. And now, of course, with computers and all, you can go paperless. Then why not?
True.
So these are things which we should do, like in packing material. Of course, with regulation, Kamakul has gone, but still we can do away with many things. We can go natural way and do things which are more easy and wherein we don't create a lot of environmental hazards. That is what I think we can do. And don'ts means we should not do, we should really not do. So yes, it has to be followed, and environmental security is always a necessity. Secondly, social environment, as I told you about counseling. When you are aware of your people, you will certainly be aware of your society around you. You will certainly be aware of the people around your factory. You will be certainly aware of a school which is running night school, which is running down the lane for your laborers, children, or whatever it may be, or for outsiders, you will certainly be aware of it. Once you are aware of it, you can bring in a better position for them. You can bring in more social awareness and create a good livelihood for them. That's what I feel person should always be there in it.
It's very
Like just
noble
for
thought.
today, since you're taking my podcast, so I can just tell you today. What has happened is we as a group are also doing a playground for a remote village government college, a
Oh,
playground the size of football because they don't have. So something like that can always be done by us.
so coming to our final question, how has your experience with Directors Institute helped you in your professional journey, and were there any specific skills or insights you gained that you found specially valuable to you in your roles?
See, we should not look at very narrowly or compare with another institute. Directors Institute has taken up a very bold initiative, and this I feel will help a lot of people like us to open up their vision. See, I know many things, but that does not mean I know the whole world. So how do I get? It's only knowledge which can give me. And the way you all have maneuvered the whole course and how you are doing it, and with people who are supporting, like the staff and all those things who are there, supporting and bringing out the outcome, it's really commendable. And it's, I should say, I've not seen another portal like this, wherein you can get something like that, an outcome like this. So the Doctors Institute has given us a very good, uh, you can say, knowledge about things which are around here and which we should know also. Like ESG in particular, as you had put the last question. See, ESG we always knew was only compliance. Not me, in general, people in general know is meeting the compliances. But no one understands, as I told you, the school next door, my school which is running next door by an NGO. No one understands that. But ESG makes us the social awareness, saving the electricity and environmental awareness,
Yeah.
saving the plastic and packing or paper, another awareness. So all these things are very good, which your courses have done to us, and I feel it's great, great job.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we've had a number of candid insights for you, and it's been lovely and inspiring to hear how you seamlessly blending your expertise in business, governance, and I feel most importantly, holistic well-being.
Yeah.
Your diverse approach to leadership and innovation is a reminder of the impact that can be inclusive, that can be compassionate, and can handle all stratas together, whether it be organizations or communities. So I think it was a huge learning for all of us. We're grateful for your time, sir, and wish you continued success in your future.
Ah, yeah. Thank you very much. And it was really a great experience. To the end, I'll just bring in a good note from
Please,
what I have learned from my ancestors. My father
please.
always tell us one thing that, see, I told you I belong to a business family and a Marwadi family, which has business in their DNA.
Mhm.
So they always taught us good lessons. So the one lesson which they taught us, which was very, very important, and it stands very important for all the things, even that is when you when a penny drops from your pocket, a rupee drops from your pocket, you should have heard the sound. I'll I think it's difficult to understand what does it mean. I'll just
Please,
expand it.
please.
What it means is, say, supposing every penny which falls from your pocket, you should be able to where it has fallen, why it has fallen, and how it did fall. That means any resource from you, it brings a mindset in you, any resource of yours, any resource which has gone on the side, why and what. So your awareness created why that penny have lost,
Yeah.
why did it drop, and how did it drop. So that awareness has been very, very great and very instrumental in keeping hold. So for leadership, like bringing in for like leadership, as right now when we see we're talking about leadership qualities, it is about all the resources are noticed. Nothing is unnoticed, and each resource is taken with very respect and care. And what happens is when we do that, we are basically reinforcing the idea of mindful stewardship for our leadership.
Lovely, sir. I'm not going to add anything to that. I think we have a perfect closing note for today's episode. So thank you once again for joining us, and I'm sure our listeners have been enthralled by your experiences. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And I thank all the listeners. And thank you for giving your time.
Have a
Thank
great day ahead, sir. Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
And with that, we wrap up today's episode. We look forward to bringing you more inspiring stories from exceptional leaders like Kiran. Until next time, keep embracing innovation, fostering diversity, and making a positive difference in the world around you.